welcome guys to another episode of the Journey podcast, and we're actually in Bali with a very special guest. I'm really looking forward to having this conversation. Next to me is Jorge Falcó. Welcome.
How are you?
I said it well, Jorge Falcó.
Without the N. Jorge Falcó.
Falcó.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
There you can stop it. Yeah.
Okay, Jorge,
Yeah, it's a classic
Jorge
one.
Falcó.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, pleasure, man. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both are very busy bees. So if you see us moving, excuse me, that's how we are.
Exactly.
We are here to talk about a lot of things that I'm very interested in, and I know you too. Performance, health, getting better in padel. Really good, because this in my eyes is a really good player, but also the journey of Jorge, because I talked to him I think a month ago shortly, and he went through a lot of things that most people don't know, and he's going to share more about it, because behind every successful player or coach there's a story, and I'm here to reveal the story. So thank you for being here, whether if you're listening or watching. Let's dive into it.
Let's go for it.
I'm very natural in it,
Yeah.
No perfect shots.
All
First of all, instead of asking, hey, what is your name and what are you doing? And most people know what's your name, what are you doing? Can you take us with you, how you feel right now after being 3 or 4 months in Bali?
3 months now.
Because you moved from Lisbon. How is it for you to move from Lisbon to Bali and living here for 3 months?
Right now I'm a little bit getting into the cruise mode. You know what I mean? I'm starting to feel the flow going on. Mm-hmm. The decision to move here was something very last minute. It was a crazy thing. It just the first time I got the offer to come here was December 31st, literally. And we said yes. Me and my girlfriend, she's also here with me. We said yes to move here January 7th, 8th. So within 8-9 days, we had to decide if we really wanted to move to the other side of the world, to live a new experience, keep on growing as persons, and also in my case, keep on growing my level of padel coaching, my social media, and even my level as a player too, you know. So right now getting there. At the beginning, of course, the first weeks was where am I? What am I doing here? How am I here? You know, why me and not someone else? But feeling good, to be fair, feeling good. One of my best moments, I would say, in this case.
One of your best?
100%. Living my best life in... Yeah, for sure.
Good to hear. Yeah, you shared a reel. I mean, you're very consistent with reels.
Yeah.
Follow him on Instagram. We'll put it here, because he's very, very consistent in posting, helping to improve your paddle game, really. But one thing I had to really laugh about, and you know it, the coconut part, is that Jorge is the guy that makes a video about something that you do for 8 months already in Bali, but you don't realize how special it is that you can push a button and get a coconut at the paddle court.
It's crazy if you think about it.
It really a very, very, very luxury thing. And then also in the video you shared how it is for you to move and how it is for you to as a paddle coach in Bali.
Right.
And I'm curious what is the big difference because you first taught people in Lisbon, and what is the difference for you giving coaching here and giving coaching there?
The thing is, I've been a coach for many years already. I'm only 28 years old, but the first time I started teaching, I was maybe 16 or so.
Wow.
Not padel, I was before a tennis coach. I used to be a tennis player. I never say professional because I wasn't professional, but I tried to become a professional tennis player. And on the last months of my try to play and keep on competing and keep on traveling and this and that, I also realized that maybe the plan A, which was being a tennis player, was not as easy as I thought, but plan B of being a tennis coach could be something cool that interested me and something that I was willing to learn. So at the same time I was training myself, I was also at school, of course, and I was also trying to start teaching Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, Friday evenings, starting with little kids, these classical first classes. So it's been a while teaching. This is something that I have to tell. I'm saying this because here in Bali, for example, Padel is new. Here it's been 1 year and a half, 2 years of Padel being something not only popular, but I would say one of the main things about the island right now. Anyone you ask, they're completely obsessed about this. Like the paddle fever right now is all the way up, you know. So I come from teaching in Valencia in Spain and teaching in Lisbon. Both tennis or paddle there are actual sports for so many years, and the people you train also know about the sport. Even though they are not playing it, they know about it because their parents play, their girlfriends play, friends play, or whatever. But here I have people that literally have never played paddle before or have never seen an actual paddle match before, you know. So it's a challenge trying to adapt to, I know how to explain, I know how to teach, but I also know that these guys need something different than the guys that I was coaching back home, for example, in Spain, you know? So it's also part of the challenge of being here, like trying to overcome those situations where you feel like something is obvious, you wouldn't say that, but here maybe you have to say even the most obvious thing, you know, because you're just trying to get there. But what I feel here the most is people take it really serious, you know, like it's an actual thing. It's not just a hobby where I play paddle once or twice a week because this and that. Like people play tournaments, play Americanas, train once, twice a day. If you say like the day that they don't play paddle, they're not even happy. I know you're making the face because you're one of those guys, right?
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
But I see every guy like Americano.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy, you know? So like it's dealing with that also, like managing expectations of people, you know, like it's good that you take it serious. It's good that you love this sport. So do I. But it's just paddle. You know what I mean? So you can take it serious, but you also need to enjoy the process, enjoy the process of learning, enjoy the process of training, of playing with this person, with this other person, not just, I want to go from here to here in 3 months, you know?
Yeah, well explained. And yeah, you said a lot of valuable things. One of them is like the fever is unreal here.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and you say 1 year. I'm here for 8 months, and I've seen it like going crazy. Like every tournament, it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. More people. One thing I was what I will ask you about is like, yeah, people play every week. They lose a little bit like that. It's for fun. I have to say I have a lot of fun in it, but people around me also have a lot of fun. But some people are like, yeah, they don't see the fun of it anymore. What is like you coach every day? Like you work all week, coach every day, hours. You work a lot. What are the biggest mental blockages, like mental challenges you see with paddle players?
It's kind of what I was telling you about dealing with expectations. You know, like some people come to me, maybe first class that I'm teaching them, and I ask, of course, like, do you have anything specific in mind what you would like to work on? Like, what are your needs as a player, this and that? And some people come to me, and I really need to improve my smash, or I really want to kick the ball out of the court. I'm like, until you get to that point, you need a solid base first. You know, you really need to, like, until you get to the point where you can smash the ball out of the court, you have to work on the play, you have to understand the game, you have to know how to hit a proper forehand, a proper backhand, like knowing what you're doing. So it's not only about how hard can you hit. You know, so people come to you like, okay, in this class I'm gonna learn how to kick the ball out of the court, and in the end they finish doing something totally different to that, you know, because I'm starting to, okay, before we get there, I kind of fool them a little bit, you know, like before getting into the smash, I want to see how you play and give you just a little tips on how to defend, how to use the glass, when should you play a lob, when should you attack a little bit more, and in the end, we'll go to the smash part. And at the end of the class, they realize that some things that they thought they had controlled, they don't. And the smash part or the kick the ball out part that for them was the main priority is not anymore. You know, so that's also part of our job to try to make everyone be in the level they have to be. You know, you can't be here and ask me to teach you something that it's way over the level you are actually, you know.
Managing expectations.
Super difficult.
We talked earlier with Christina.
Oh, yeah?
And she like, yes. Yeah, exactly. Communicate also with your partner, like what do you expect from each other.
Exactly.
And what is one thing, take us With you in your life as a coach, like one of the most funny things you've ever witnessed in a coaching lesson, really, no names, but really something that you're like, you had to laugh so hard, you're like, wow.
I mean, of course, there are always funny moments, you know, like if it involves someone doing something wrong, you can't laugh at them. You know what I mean? Like they're there to you, and if they do something really wrong, not even on purpose, you know, they just mess it up or something like that, you can't laugh.
No.
But yeah, it's something that happens a lot to us coaches, tennis or padel, when you are trying to explain someone how to do something. You are explaining them, you're looking to them at the eyes, like right on the eyes, and telling you have to do this, and that, the whole explanation, 2-3 minutes of fully detailed explanation, and right after that, she or him looking at you like, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Can you go back to the beginning? That's something that happens a lot. Like you see it, like now, I've learned a bit on looking at your eyes, and before going through the conversation, telling you, are you actually listening to me or you're thinking of something else? You know, and they're like, no, I wasn't paying attention, sorry. Let's go back to zero, you know? So that's something that is not that funny, but it happens quite a lot in, not every class, but basically every week we have something like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
you're very professional in this, by the way, because you don't give very detailed things. I think you saw things, but it's not really cool to share, maybe. But I can imagine some things.
You gotta be respectful.
Exactly. That makes you a good coach.
Yeah.
And if we're talking about being a coach, like, what do you believe? If you would like, you've listened to people around you like that see you as a coach. What do they say about you as a coach? Be open. No, you can say everything. Like what makes you a good coach? Because you came to Bali and the whole list was full. Like you have a waiting list. People want to be coached by you. Why you as a person, right?
Right. Two different things, I would say. When I came here, the club was doing already, BPA was doing already a great job trying to introduce me as the new coach without actually saying it. Meaning, before we announced that I was coming, Eric, the manager, was already posting some Insta stories about my reels. He was already posting a little bit of my tips, this and that. So before coming here, I got the feeling that many people knew me. And that's not because of me, that's because of BPA, that's because of the club doing a great job. Yeah. Apart from that, the waiting list I know that it's not only my club, but in that club specifically is something crazy. Like I keep on saying that to everyone, it's not only because of the way I coach or because of the way other coaches coach, it's because of the place. If you see the club there, I keep on saying, it's, if not the best club of the world, top 3 for sure, you know, so that helps a lot. Being somewhere where people want to be, where people want to train, is easy for me, you know. So I know that people are gonna be there just because of the club, and not even for me. But after that first boom, you know, like, okay, I'm here, people want to come, and after the first weeks of training with me, the feedback that I normally get is, I try to get a lot of, like, really involved in the class, you know, like I keep on saying the same. I respect a lot time and money of the clients that are coming to me. So if you are coming to me for like 60 minutes, you are expecting a premium service. I'm gonna do my best for you to have that premium service. You know, like I'm gonna give everything I have to make sure that once you leave this class, you're happier than when you came. At least you've learned a couple of things, but the way you felt in the court wants you to come back again to keep on training with me, you know. So respecting time and money of people is something that I got a lot in my mind, and it's helping me a lot to engage clients to keep on coming again and again.
Good. And what is, for yourself, like, what do you believe about your way of teaching? What makes it valuable for others? What is something like that you really personally do that makes it like your coaching session?
Like as I said before, like I've been coaching for quite a while.
12 years already.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Coaching a lot, and especially coaching different profiles. You know, it's not the same coaching a tennis player which is trying to get a professional career, or coaching a padel player that just started, you know. So if you coach different profiles, in the end you also get used to manage people in the way they are, you know. So I like a lot the analysis of the client, you know. Once the player comes to me, I try on the first 5, 10, 15 minutes, see where their needs are. And once again, what I see most of the times doesn't come together to what they actually think, you know. But I can see a few shots and I can try to tell, okay, the shot that you have is good, or maybe not, but I tell them that it's good. And apart from that, but I believe that if you did this and that, those little adjustments could make you feel that you have more control on the ball, for example. So it's something that I really try to do is, okay, even if it's something really simple, even if it's something that you already know you can do, I'm going to try to point something else that at least is going to make you feel a bit better when you hit the ball, you know? And apart from that, I'm just talking, like the full hour. I try to make it personal as well, you know? So like, as I said before, I want you to feel good in the court. You know, I want you to get tired, I want you to sweat, I want you to learn, but it's also important that once you are done with the session, you feel happy. Not only that I'm telling you for 60 minutes how bad you're doing your forehand, and until you don't get the perfect forehand technique, we're not done. You know what I mean? So it's not about that. So once again, it's about trying to deal with that. You know, you push a bit, then you take it back, then you keep on pushing, then you take it back again. So yeah, that's the way I try to go.
Interesting for me to know how you watch, how you perceive like coaching, and how you like manage a session.
Right.
Something I was very curious about is like that's maybe more personal, but what makes you, because if I see you, like I've seen you playing, I see you coaching, you're also when you're talking, you're very expressive. You have a lot of fire. I mean, I recognize it. So it's like a very very hungry, like ambitious, human being. Where does that stem from? Like where did this start? Because everybody has like some type of fuel, and I'm very curious what your fuel is to go so all in with your like audience, like your Instagram, as a coach. I see you developing also like personally. I watch most of your games, and I see you develop, like you become better and better. I know that there are some reasons why you didn't win the final, but let's say like you would win most of the games if you have like the right people next to you. What is that fire? Where does it come from?
That's a great question, because I have no idea. You know, I couldn't tell you. I love discipline as one of my favorite words, for sure. It comes like my parents to me and my sister since the beginning, since we were little kids, as we were both on the process of, at the same time we were studying, we were also training tennis, and we were also trying to get something out of that. And at the same time, we were also studying English, because our parents thought that English, and they were totally right, because if not, I wouldn't be here, English would open you a lot of doors in life and this and that. So it's like, if I want to do everything I want to do, I have to be really disciplined in terms of school time is 9 to 5, training time is 5:30 to 9:30, studying time is 10 p.m. until it's done, you know? And that's the way I work since I'm super young, you know, because also my parents were demanding me. Now we talk about it, and they're like, we weren't that strict. And I keep on telling them that you were pushing me a lot in terms of demanding good results at school, good results in tennis, good results as my own behavior, you know, so not in a bad way, of course, they did it for good, and they did it because they wanted the best of me, but that really made me feel the importance of, if you are doing something, you gotta do it all in, you know. I wouldn't do anything halfway. What's the point of that, you know? So I don't know, I would say it all comes with the discipline in this case, you know.
So you say like that they were quite demanding.
Yeah.
I hear this often. I mean, that's why people become very successful in many things. Is it like, if you would choose over again, would you do the same? Or would you say like, yeah, sometimes I also have to pause? I'm very curious. I have a feeling like your girlfriend makes you pause a little bit, like chill. That's what women mostly do, like chill a little bit. How is that now for you? Now you're here, your parents are where are they?
In Valencia.
In Valencia? Yeah. How is it for you now?
I mean, I'm older now, like they still have a word on me. I still call them to ask for advice, but in the end, it's all about my choices at this point, So, but yeah, like when I came here before that in Lisbon, I loved the experience in Lisbon, like a lot. But at some point, it got out of control in terms of how much I was working. I couldn't say no to clients because I was feeling that I could do one more hour and I could do one more, and I have a good relationship with this guy, so I don't want to lose him, and I have a good relationship with this group and I don't want to lose them. So in the end, it was just yes to every class that was coming to me, and I just worked way too much. Like I keep on telling that to people. I was doing between 47 to 55 hours of classes a week between Monday to Friday. So in the end, it's just work. And I also was demanding myself, you have to work out. And I was also demanding myself, you have to run because you are preparing for this race. And I was also demanding myself, you have to have time with your girlfriend because you're here in Lisbon, living this unique experience, so you have to make the best of it. And you also need to eat healthy. And you also, so at some point I was completely overwhelmed. And I didn't realize that until I came here. Until I stopped, until I reduced the amount of hours that I was working. Now I'm doing 32 per week, 32 classes. Before I was doing 50. Until I didn't feel like I have so much free time now. My mind is clear. I can do more things than just teaching, recording videos, editing, working out, this and that. Me and my girlfriend talk about it, which sometimes I woke up, she was still sleeping because I had to work early in the morning. I came back home and she was already sleeping because it was that late that it was bedtime for her.
Wow.
And that wasn't a one-day thing. Yeah. It was week after week after week after week, So at some point you just get in the loop, you feel good. I felt with energy. I was like, I can do this. But once I stopped, I was like, it was way too much for me, So I'm glad I'm not doing it anymore, but I'm also glad I did it because now I know I can do it, but I also know I don't want to keep on doing that.
Very
if that
valuable.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Oh, and you're still relatively young. I mean, 28.
Yeah.
I think people think you're older, but that's because you...
Yeah, that's
mature.
something I'm like, always on my 30s for people.
Come on, I'm 29. I'm like, but it's more. I feel like this, like in terms of maturity and how you also you coach very professionally. So it's not like this guy's like in his 20s. So that's a compliment, of course. Right. But then you don't expect someone to be so clear on things. Many people when they're 30 plus, they start to realize things, and you're like already learning this at a young age. But also, you told me about your tennis career and going to New York. Can you take us, like, for the people listening, the people who know you know it a little bit, but a lot of people are gonna listen to this, like, who is Jorge like before all of this? So tell us the start. Like, you're 16, and there's a nice saying, like, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. So somebody was your teacher once. Who was that? And take us to, like, the first moment you started to you play tennis. I have no idea. I said I'm gonna ask you, so that here it is.
Yeah. I mean, I tried my best to become a pro tennis player, but at some point I just realized that I couldn't. And I stopped playing tennis. At some point I didn't pick up a tennis racket for 2-3 years because I was completely mentally blocked about the whole situation and the pressure that I was putting to myself to try to do something that until I realized I wouldn't be able to. It took me a while to process all that information, especially being that young, when you are 15, 16, 17 years old, telling yourself you can't do this, for me personally, was a tough moment, let's say, But yeah, the New York thing is something that it was 10 years ago, and now it looks 10 years ago. I said that I look super, but I went there for the first time when I was 18, so I know this girl from Valencia. She was also a tennis coach there, and my mom especially also knew her. They were Padel friends and tennis friends. We were just related at some point. And I knew she was working in New York in the summertime. And my mom was like, you have to do that. That can be really cool for you if you want to. Like, your English is good. You have a good tennis level. You like teaching. could be a good experience for you. I'm like, sure, yeah, why not? So I talked to her, and she was like, I think you are the kind of profile we want here. Long story short, that was a summer camp in New York. It was a summer camp for kids where I was going there from June to end of August for 4 summers in a row. So it was basically university from September to June, to New York, June to September, and then back to university, September to June. That's it for 4 summers in a row. I didn't think about it too much, Once they told me that was an option, I was like, yeah, sure, I take it. Let's go. New York, then, yeah, sure, perfect. Let's go for it. And that clicked my head a lot, because I was, as you said before, about like maturity and that. I was always working with coaches older than me. So now you see, if you are 18 and you're working with someone that is 27, 28, you can learn a lot of them, So I was absorbing a lot of that since the beginning. So I loved the experience there. I got to know so many people, not only from the States, but it was this summer camp where they were hiring. It wasn't only about tennis. There were only so many activities. And they were hiring coaches and that from different countries. So I had friends in the UK, friends from Ireland, friends from Canada, friends from different parts of the States. And all those inputs in your mind make you feel that there's more out of these 5, 6, 7 good tennis clubs in Valencia. I could develop myself more if I get out of here. So that's why I was like, until I have the chance, and I stopped going to New York because of COVID, not because of anything else. I just got there and that summer camp got cancelled, so I just couldn't go anymore. But until I have the chance to keep on going, I'm going to keep coming to this, and I'm going to keep on coming to this experience, and I'm going to keep on traveling after the summer camp is done, and this and that. So in the end, coaching in New York was something that, for my own personality and from the way I coach and from the way I deal with people and from how I see life in the end, helped me so much. I remember the first summer there, I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 weeks after I got there, I was already loving the experience. And I was at a bar there in a pub, drinking a couple of beers. And I remember I called my parents and I said, yo, thank you. And they were like, what for? And I told them, like, if you didn't push me this much to keep on playing tennis, even though you knew I wanted to stop, if you didn't, not force me, but encourage me to keep going, if you didn't encourage me to learn English, if you didn't encourage me to come here and get totally out of my comfort zone and be a coach in New York, I wouldn't be living one of the best experiences of my life, So they, of course, got super emotional after that call. But that's also something that, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be doing most of the things that I'm doing now.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing, man. And also, yeah, I can imagine, because I've always been like supported by my foster parents then. So that for you, although it can sound for people like, yeah, they pushed you and it was hard and everything, you really was grateful. You were grateful for them because it brought you to places that you dreamed of, right?
Totally.
And so if somebody doesn't have that, like the parents that support you, because you told me about your father, your mother's a great paddle player, your father is super fit. I'm gonna see them in a few weeks, probably. Right? Yeah. So I'm gonna see like Jorge, what is it, senior,
exactly.
And mamas, and so that's great because it really helps you. And if you see now where you're at, you can be really proud of yourself and grateful for them. If somebody doesn't have that, like you have a lot of, you have like quite some followers on Instagram, and I can imagine if you don't have the support, you feel like lonely. What would you, out of Jorge's heart, would say to them? Like, what would help them to feel like more supported?
I think right now it's easier than ever, to be fair, to feel the support out of somewhere. Meaning, you have a lot of social media, you have a lot of profiles out there that, if you take the good references and if you feel that someone could be your role model as I admire this person because he or she is doing this and that, and I also want to do that, it could be a really good path to walk through. In terms of when I started posting on Instagram, for example, it was only paddle tips, you know. But at some point, my girlfriend told me, like, you also have to share your day, like your daily routine, let's say, because it's not normal. For me, it's normal, you know. But she was like, it's not normal that someone is waking up, eating a healthy breakfast, working 10 hours a day, working out, going for a run, creating content, editing videos, this and that. That for me was something that, okay, it's the way I function. But as soon as I started posting it, I realized how many people I was helping just because of doing that. You know, like many people were telling me, but do you force it? Like, would you actually be running today at 7 a.m. if you weren't recording yourself? And I keep saying, 100%. Like, yeah, 100%. I've grown up. I told you before about this. My dad, fit guy, super strong. He works out every morning, and I'm saying every morning is every morning at 6 a.m. at home. Like every morning, you know, like we were sleeping and we could hear like, you know, like the guy doing crunches and doing push-ups and doing pull-ups. I've grown up with that at home, you know, like for me, something that is normal. It's cool. Totally natural, you know, so I get that some people, of course, everyone has their own situations and environments and that, so I tell you, like, if I can help someone to get a better lifestyle, get a better, more discipline, or improve your paddle level, or I don't know, this and that, I'm happy with that, you know. I take it.
Yes. What's your father's name, if you want to share?
Juanpi.
I'm waiting for your Instagram.
Yeah.
6 o'clock every morning.
6 o'clock every morning, man.
Do you know Jocko Willing? Jocko?
No, I don't.
He's crazy.
Yeah?
Like, I'm gonna share the Instagram,
Okay.
but every morning he shared a picture, black and white, of the sweat of the kettlebells. He did kettlebell swing, kettlebell swings, and then you see the sweat. He's the most disciplined, like, army guy. He reminds me, like, the discipline you have, it's like same.
Right.
And he did it in the army. But I see your father. So you grew up with this.
Yeah.
And great, by the way, from Paula that she shared, because I know when people see you doing it and they want to be as fit as you and living like their dream, they're going to follow what you do, of course. And it's really healthy. I see you running every morning, and whoa, I get so much energy when you talk. It's a lot of like it's like you're recharging me. Thank you for that. No. It's
That's
just
good.
great
That's
having a
good.
conversation. You're very passionate, and
Yeah.
also Spanish, of course.
We have it in our blood, you know what I mean?
Actually,
just
but you
comes
use
in.
it.
Yeah.
You use it.
It comes, yeah.
You really use it, and for the right reasons. So you said, like, so you it started like when you were like 14, 15. Who was the inspiration for you, by the way? Who was a role model for you back then? Your father? Your
Part
parents?
of it, both of them.
Yeah,
Like,
parents. Sorry.
In different ways, in
Yeah.
this case, like, both of them have, like, we are really like a normal family, of course, but both of my parents work like crazy. They've done a lot for me and for my sister to always provide our needs, you know. So watching that inspiration, let's say, at home, you know, like, even like, I don't know, like my mom at her age right now, she keeps learning different stuff. She just did last week her first theater play in her life, you know, because she really wanted to do that. And she was like, apart from working, I also want to practice because I want to get better at this and perform in front of people.
That's
and
so
she did
cool.
last Friday, you know, so like crazy, you know. So in the end, I think it just comes in our family. That's super normal. My sister is exactly the same. She works super good. I keep on telling she's way smarter than I am. She's 100% the intelligent one of the family. But she also works out. She's like super careful of her routine. Like, I have to, breakfast is this and lunch is that, and I have to work out for sure, and then I have to do that, this and that. And at some point, of course, my tennis coach back on the day, you always admire someone, in my opinion, you admire someone that you want to look like, you want to be like, and it's also close in age, let's say, you know. So back on the day, my coach was close to our age, and he was like a great coach, to be fair. So we were like, I want to be like you, you know, like I want to play good tennis, I want to be good with people, I want to work a lot, I want to... So in the end, I just think it was like the perfect scenario for me to just absorb, and then just push it out as well.
Check. Your tennis coach was that guy for you.
Yeah, I can
Who
tell
give
that.
like the little push you.
Yeah.
And what does success mean to you?
Success.
Yeah.
I posted a picture about it in Lisbon before leaving Lisbon. Both of my families, my mom's family and my dad's family, came to visit because they knew I was leaving, and we were like, "That's it. You know, this experience is done." Lisbon, of course, is way closer to Valencia than Bali is, so I'd rather tell them, "Okay, come to see this now that I'm here, and you get to live this before I'm gone, because I really want to show you the city that I've been living in for a year and a half." You know, and I remember we took a picture. It was different weeks, of course, but we took a picture all together with my dad's family, and then we took a picture all together with my mom's family. And I look at those pictures, and for me, that's what success is. You know, like I got to show my family, I got to provide to my family something that they all gave me. You know, like they gave me all the love in the world. They all gave me everything I needed in this world. So for those specific days where they came and I was the one in charge, let's say, okay, now I'm going to be the one providing, let's say for you, I'm going to be the one sharing with the ones that I love everything that I can for you to enjoy these days. That made me realize that, man, I'm so lucky, you know, my family is super big. I have my grandparents, 2 of them alive. My grandma is also alive. My grandparent passed away just when I got here, but I'm super grateful of the family we have. And if you tell me that the success was the main word, for me is family. I have a tattoo here on my ribs that says, where love begins and love never ends. And that's what for me is family.
Wow.
And I'm gonna keep on having that in there because I really believe that that's something that, is related to what success could be. Yeah.
Beautiful. I didn't expect this answer.
Yeah.
That's great. Is it in Spanish?
No, in English.
Oh, in English.
I got it in New York. One of the years that I was working there, I got the tattoo done there, thinking of my
that's beautiful.
my parents, and I showed them. I was like, "Where life begins and love never ends. This is all for you." Yeah.
But that's beautiful. Where love begins and never ends.
Where love begins. No, where life begins and love never ends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really.
Yeah.
Life, love. Yeah.
Crazy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I'm literally very visual, so I can imagine how your parents, when you called them, when you were like in New York, how emotional they got, because that's like, I think that's the dream of every parent, seeing your son being like feeling happy, being successful, what success means to you, and living his dream, and also knowing that what they did was actually the right thing, because they do their best. So I would never judge about it. I mean, look where you're at right now. That means everything went well. Not easy, also hard. So you overwon also, I think, some obstacles. Can you take us to because now your life is really good. We cannot have any help.
In Bali here,
oh my God, guys!
It's a Thursday night now, and we're living life.
We only have to smile, and then we know we are not gonna share. I mean, I'm not gonna share it. I'm a bit too humble to share. I'm also on Instagram. Don't share too much about how life is, because then people will get depressed. Like, okay, I want to describe just yesterday, because I told someone I'm gonna go to Europe in like 20 days for a few months. And I said, so yesterday I worked, and then I had a coconut, and then I went to a wellness place, did an ice bath, did a sauna, and then I worked a little bit more. Then I had a paddle match, and after the paddle match, I relaxed in the sun, and then I had a great fresh dinner. And then the sun was going down, and I had time with friends.
And that was a Wednesday.
And that was a Wednesday, exactly. It sounds like a weekend, or it sounds like a... Yeah. And I'm like, oh, my friend, and then, I got the food delivered at home, fresh, with a smile.
Right.
And I ate it, I was like, wow. And then I went to bed so grateful that I could almost like, it was overwhelming. So that's the only day I'm going to share, because every country, city has its great things. But for you, like, what was the question I wanted? Yeah, so everything is very beautiful, but at the same time, you had obstacles to overcome, and I'm sure about that because that's also where your mental strength came from, and I see it in the match where I see it in the match, that you have a lot of resilience. It's insane. Where like take us to one of your like greatest obstacles, what a moment you suffered, like, and how did you overwon?
I'm not gonna lie. I've had so many of them, of course, but I don't wanna sound as a victim of anything.
No,
You know what I mean?
not the victim.
Super lucky with my life. I've got everything I wanted. Let's say without raising my standards too much. You know, but my basics have always been taken care of. You know, but of course it came for me one of the toughest parts being a teenager when I was trying to once again become the tennis player. It was a lot of competition in between the guys that were trying to do the same thing as I was trying to, and then also at the same time I was trying to perform super good at school, and at the same time I was trying to perform. It was way too much, and I don't know, at some point I was winning a lot of tournaments. I was a good tennis player, young but good, you know, and at some point results stop coming. You know, you lose confidence, and in my case, in my personal case, it was crazy, man, because you know, you have in tennis, you have the same as in padel. There's the forehand and there's the backhand. It's that simple. So at some point, I totally lost my confidence in my forehand. Like, lost it. Like, at a point where the ball was coming to this side of my body, I was like, I don't even know how to react to this ball. And now watching it with perspective and with distance, I know that is for sure because of the pressure that I was putting to myself. I was just blocking the flow, you know. I was just overthinking that much that I just got frozen, you know. But I was for months after 1 year, 2 years of blocking. When I was 17, I talked to my parents like, I think I just can't play tennis anymore. Like, literally, I don't want to keep on playing. And of course, they got disappointed, let's say, but not because of me. They got disappointed on the situation, saying, after all the effort you've put into this, why would you stop? You know, like, why would you say, I don't want to keep on playing this anymore, you know? So trying to explain it and trying to have words for a feeling that in my inside was like, I want to do something, I know I can do it, but I'm just not able anymore to, you know? I'm not enjoying, I'm not happy to what I'm doing, I'm just, you know, like punishing myself way too much after every match. So that decision in between, I'm gonna stop playing tennis, but I actually want to keep going, but I don't want to say goodbye to the sport. But, you know, like, it was too much exactly for myself. And of course, I knew the effort that my parents were putting into that, you know, and you're like, I don't want to throw all of this away because the kid says that he can't hit a forehand. And that's what I was thinking back on the day, you know, like, put your shit together and back at playing, you know, like, keep on playing, you know. And it was that situation where, like, boom, you know, like, everything was spinning up here, like, what should I do? When I decided I was stopping, I was like, I just can't. I stopped actually for a couple of weeks, then I tried to go back, and then I realized that it was just impossible for me. I wasn't the same player anymore. Whoa. So, yeah, that took me a while to, and that's actually why I started playing padel, let's say, you know, because I was still feeling competitive, I was still feeling strong, I was still feeling fit, that I had some skills, let's say. Tennis wasn't an option anymore, and back on the day, I'm talking, I don't know, like almost 15 years ago, in Spain, padel was the easy tennis, let's say, you know. So I was like, if I can play tennis, I'm going to try to play padel. And let's see if padel works better than tennis is working, because definitely tennis is not an option anymore. And that's kind of the story why I got related, more related, let's say, into padel, you know.
So that was a real, I can imagine as a 16,
17, right before university.
Yeah, so you're very sensitive to negative emotions when you're young.
Yeah.
So how did you feel like back then? Like, can you remember like a day that you were at home and like feeling, what kind of emotions did you feel in that moment when your forehand didn't work anymore? Like a blackout.
Just imagine you're in the court where you have been so many hours, where you've won quite a few matches where you've played in many cities around Spain, where you've just been someone good, someone confident on what you're doing, and at some point you're like, yes, I don't know what to do, you know. Still finding some resources, you know, like the actual forehand wasn't working anymore, so I started to just play a lot of backhands. And I'm quite fast, you know, my footwork is pretty good, so I was like, okay, let's serve and let's avoid hitting forehands, you know. So it's like just hitting backhand. It was impossible to play at that level, you know. I could do that with a weak player, but if I wanted to play something somewhere where players are better, that wasn't an option anymore, you know. So like in the end, the feeling was like feeling so much pressure inside me, like not coming from the outside, like coming from inside, you know, like why are you doing this bad? How is it possible, you know, like how are you not able to manage this? You are being able to keep on studying at school, you are being able to keep on training, you are being able to keep on having certain quality on other stuff in your life. Why not tennis anymore, you know? So you're like too many questions, being too young and dealing with them in a difficult way, let's say.
Yeah. What helped you back then out of this situation?
I think I was 15, 16, I don't know. And my mom kind of fooled me a bit, you know, like, we're gonna go and talk with this girl that I know. She's super related to tennis. I think she can help you with that block that you have in your head, this and that. After a couple of months, I realized she was a psychologist, you know, and my mom was trying to get her to help me, you know, like.
I see it, but this is a very interesting way.
Crazy. Yeah, she was like, I have full confidence in my parents, you know, I mean, especially
Cristina.
back on the day, exactly. And she was like, just talk with her, do what she does, and if it helps, feel free. Let's see, you know. And I remember she was asking me to get a notebook, you know, and like after every match, before every match and after every match, actually, write down my emotions and how did I feel, how did I perform, this and that. And now I see it as something super important. But being 15 or 16, I didn't want to share that with others. I was kind of embarrassed of the situation. Mm-hmm. It was just tennis, you know, it's just tennis. I don't have to make a big deal of this. Now it's super natural. You said it with Chris before. It's super natural asking for help to psychologists to perform better in many areas in your life, but in sport even more. But 12, 13 years ago, I can tell you that wasn't the case, at least in tennis. Like, there's no way that was something natural. That for me was like hiding it a bit, you know, like I did it, but I didn't do it all in. And I was like, yeah, this could work, but it wasn't, you know. I was like, yeah, she tried to help me. She did her best. I didn't. My parents, of course, tried their best for me to overcome the situation. It just didn't work. And it is what it is, you know, like everything happens for a reason. And maybe I wouldn't be here if I would still be a tennis player or not, you know what I mean? So
I was thinking about this, like if that wouldn't be going like that, then you wouldn't be here. So if you look back, what would you what advice would you give to your younger self, like the 16-year-old Jorge?
Enjoy. You know what I mean? Like enjoy when you play, enjoy when you train, because now I miss those days, you know, like it was super easy, like after school going to train for 4 hours. And I tell that to people, and they're like, yeah, like, wow, you know, like, how could you do that? But like, I loved it. You know what I mean? Like, people were just in the park, or they were just around there with the bikes or doing whatever, and I was doing my passion. I was working in becoming a better tennis player. I was surrounded by my friends. I was like in a really good club. It was like everything super cool. But I just see that with perspective now of like 12, 13 years ago or even more. But back on the day, it was just a routine, you know, something that was happening. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't, you know. So without making it something like too ideal, but it's something that if I had to say something like, enjoy that, you know. I have another tattoo on my back that says enjoy life. And I got it back on the day when I was super young. And I keep on thinking that that's something really, really important, you know, especially being that young.
Yeah. I see you're a man of meaning. Like something has to mean, exactly. Because you go so deep in things, right? Yeah. And also, I find it great to realize now that back then you saw it as something you need to be perfect at like result, and there are literally studies that like if you say to a kid like you're a good tennis player, otherwise you wouldn't go so far. So your people are gonna say, oh, you're a great tennis player, so you get like the identity of I have to win everything, and that diminish like the pleasure, and then they play less because they don't enjoy. And when they say to kids like, hey, you're doing a great job and keep having pleasure and keep playing the balls, that's like on the process, they enjoy it more and they have better results in the long term. So what I find great, and I want to say it to you, is like that your experiences are very hard at the moment, but now you look back, you can really be grateful for it. So your remembering self is actually, happy, and I see you also take that into your life right now.
Yeah.
So that makes it, I think that closed the chapter for that also. Do you feel like that too?
Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful that everything happened.
Uh-huh.
You know, I have so many good friends from back on the day. We still keep on get a really good relationship, and even right now I'm watching TV. I don't watch that many tennis. To be fair, that much tennis. To be fair, I don't see those many tennis games anymore. But I see now playing, for example, in Roland Garros, people from Valencia or people from Madrid or whatever that were players that I used to play against, you know? And I was, at some point, you think, I wish I was him. You know, I would like to be living the experience that you're living now. But you also think, if I was playing against this guy, it means I was doing something good. You know what I mean? Sometimes I was losing, sometimes I was winning, but I was face to face with some people that are right now performing that good in a sport that is that demanding as tennis is. Once again, with distance and with perspective, makes you feel proud of what you achieved, let's say, you know?
Yeah, if it makes you feel proud, then you did a great job.
Exactly.
I mean, I know, like, to become a tennis player, like, in the top 100, I learned this, like, you need at least 200K of costs. You have 200K of costs. It's immense. It's super hard. People are getting into it. Most of them are not going to reach it. But also a friend was a pro soccer player, and then he got injured and boom, out. But he still says, like, now he sees pro players like you playing on television, and he tells me, like, yeah, I played against him, and then I was like, that's so great, because that's a great memory. I cannot say that. And he also has now more free time and a social life like you.
Right.
And also, do you feel like, in a way, how are you impacting people's life right now?
I posted this video
a
couple of weeks ago. Padel coach in Bali, worst decision ever. You know, and it was kind of the hook, you know, for you to see the video. And of course, I was explaining how good being a coach here is, you know. But I impact in the way where I see so many people texting me like, how did you do, or how is it possible to be where you are right now? You know, if I wanted to be a padel coach in Bali, what would be the steps you have to do? You know, if I wanted to become a better padel player, where did you start from? If I wanted to, I don't know, be in a better shape, where did you start? You know, so I see like sharing the way I understand life is helping other people to think, if this guy, a normal guy, 28 years old from Valencia, is doing something that I would like doing it, I'm also able to, you know? So I think that's something that keeps happening, and every time someone sends me a message, I show it to my girlfriend, like, look, this guy is sending me his CV because he wants to work now in BPA, you know, like, he wouldn't be doing that if I wasn't posting this video, you know? So it's something that in the end makes you feel good and makes you keep on pushing and pushing and pushing by creating content and keep on improving as a content creator and as a person, of course.
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I saw a reel yesterday that really want to share with you. That's what you're doing. I believe that because I watch your videos too. I literally are at BP and I say like, yo, do you follow him? And they're like, who's he? I was like, here. And they're like, oh, that are good advices. I'm like, yeah, so you don't make the stupid mistakes I have to tell you all the time. Exactly. We all make them, but it's nice if somebody learns from like Instagram reels.
Right.
And I saw a reel, I think today, where a guy said like, someone asked like, why would you post content every day? And then he said like, because now there's someone sitting at home with a dream, and they maybe they lost some belief, or they want to achieve something very important, and they need like a role model or some advices, and then you are coming every day with something that brings them closer to that goal. And something I witness is that like most people are quiet. They quiet, they watch you, they learn from you, they do the things, and then after a year, 2 years, they say thank you so much because you inspired me for being the person I followed. So I believe that's what you're doing, and something crazy. And that's also the last thing I want to ask you. I want to ask you way more, so we have to need to do an episode 2 when the summer is over.
Exactly.
We have some pedal experience.
Christmas edition.
Oh, well, that's good.
Christmas
like
edition.
December, exactly.
Exactly.
So people can look forward to it. Is that all my special tattoos that I put is like all in Valencia. So
Okay.
I went to Valencia twice or 3. I love the city. I have videos I can show you. Like I love the city, like one of the best cities. Barcelona, beautiful. Madrid, haven't been to, but Valencia has something, and you know it. People say it. Like it's very. I feel home. I drink the coffee there. I go alone. My friends went there. I was like, you can leave me there. And I put all my tattoos there. And an artist, like in a little village close to Valencia, like
Right.
imagine in a like at the back of someone's home. Yeah. If you don't see me anymore, I'm literally kidnapped there.
Exactly.
But he put like 6 tattoos on my, and there's a few special of it. But one of them is like. One of them is here, like a sword for fighting, and like that you could carry on with your brain, like how you think. But one of the tattoos I didn't take in Valencia, but like 10 years ago already, like what you at a young age had to suffer, and why you are here right now is dream, believe, achieve. And that's also where the question is about. Like really, I dreamed, I believe, and I achieved like the life I wanted to do, and you have the same. For the people at home who really want to have a dream, whatever it is, but let's say they want to become very good at paddle because you're a paddle coach and very good paddle player. And actually I have 2 last questions. One of them is to the people not like who want to stay at a normal level, but really want to become a really good level, like really good. What advice would you give?
I don't know if I'm in that good level, let's say. I'm a decent level, let's say. I'm an okay player. We can say I'm telling everyone. If I was good, I wouldn't be here. If I was good, I would be playing Premier Padel. You know, I'm decent, let's say.
Well, you're 28, so...
No, I don't know.
You're 28.
We'll see.
I have an example, actually, guys. I mean, I know, I'm not going to say names, but some people are Spanish, of course. They don't play that long, and they grew very fast. And you are getting better. I see that you're growing, and you're hungry.
Yeah.
So, but you're
always.
very humble. I like that you're, because you want to have fun too. But if you keep on going like this, you will go up and up. But that's what we'll check in like 6 months and 1 year. Yeah, I have some examples I'm gonna tell later. But what advice would you give to someone? Okay, who's like not like who wants to come at your level and the level like the best Bali player. You're one of those best players in Bali. That's a fact, and you're also in the ranking of Asia. It's a fact. I mean you're in the top. So what advice would you give to the people who want to come there? Who are like playing paddle for a few years, like, okay, I want to be like Jorge.
Something I like, I watched this in a movie, Lone Survivor. Have you seen it?
Wow.
What a crazy movie. Like, I don't know.
Wow.
Crazy. Like, you know, like
Wow.
super good movie. And the very beginning, they're showing the training of the Navy SEALs and how much they push them, this and that, you know. And I have this one in my brain. One of the instructors is yelling to a guy that is completely losing he's unconscious already because of the effort. The guy keeps telling them, just find your excuse to win. Find the excuse to win. You know, like you are tired now, you don't want to keep going, maybe you are not playing as good as you would like to be playing, maybe results are not coming, maybe you are overcoming whatever familiar situation it is. Whatever it is, just find your excuse to win. And that's something that even for myself, I keep on repeating it day after day, I would say. And if someone asked me for some advice that I don't know if I'm the person to ask for or the person who should be giving those advices, but if someone asks me, it would be 100% that sentence for me means a lot. Is find your excuse to win. And that's something that encourages you to, it doesn't matter how bad things are getting, keep pushing, and then results come for sure.
Thank you for this one. Watch the movie Lone Survivor and then add this sentence to it.
Wow, crazy.
This is for the edge, the people who really want to push forward. like to another level. And then last one is last one. Great, last one is what is your? Tell me about your ambition. Like, what's the next chapter for you?
Right now, I'm enjoying this experience. You know, I'm here with my girlfriend. We're here, Paula and I were together. We want to make the best of this. We want to keep on enjoying. We want to keep on traveling. We want to keep on being together. We want to just keep going through the process of life, let's say. But right now, at this moment, I couldn't tell you exactly, but I know that I want to keep on growing. You know, I want to have a better physique. I want to be a better paddle player. I want to be a better content creator. I want to be a better person. I want to grow, you know. And with that, whatever it comes, I take it. But I'm going to keep on pushing myself to, in every area of my life, be a little bit better every day, a little bit better every day, a little bit better, you know. So as soon as I make sure that is happening, that I'm just pushing day after day, whatever it comes, I know it's going to be for good, you know. So into that.
Okay, and when Christmas is there, guys, we have another few stories of him doing stuff we don't know yet.
Exactly.
So yeah, we're ending this, but this went very fast.
It was super quick, right, man? Oh
yes, muy rápido for the Spanish.
Muy rápido, exactly.
And yeah, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
And I really enjoyed this conversation. I really got to know you better. And also, of course, the people who are listening, watching. If you want to follow him, I would say you have to follow him if you don't follow him. Otherwise, yeah, it's just you make a mistake. So if you don't make a mistake, follow him. It's Fit
Falconetti Padel.
Falconetti Padel. Yeah, it's different than Jorge,
Yeah.
but I will put it here, down here in this, in the description, everywhere you can find him. And yeah, you will learn a lot about him and about Padel. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much for your effort, for your time, because you're very busy. You are so busy with a lot of stuff, so you really made time for it. We're also over time in this space.
Yeah,
yeah, thank you, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. When you enjoyed this, I think if you're at the end, you did like it, subscribe, and yeah, really share this one with all the people that you want to see growing and evolving in life and becoming a better paddle player. Thank you so much, and see you in the next podcast.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go.